Thanks for watching, everyone. So I'm listening here to Thom Hartmann over at Progressive Radio, Sirius XM, and he makes a comment about Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. He's complaining that charges against him, complaints more like, that were brought up to federal judges, things like that he didn't show judicial temperament during the hearings, and that he was rude to the questioners during the hearings, that kind of stuff, that this was swept under the rug, according to him. And isn't it horrible that he's not going to be charged with these horrendous crimes? You know, first of all, Judge Kavanaugh was being accused of gang rape publicly in a hearing. They were pulling out his yearbook for when he was in high school 35 years ago and making him comment on what things meant in that yearbook, and they were going to hold him for perjury if he didn't say the way they wanted him to say it, and that he was drinking beer, and then he's wondering why he's upset during that hearing. Think about what it's like to be publicly accused of gang rape. This is very ugly, serious stuff. And Thom Hartmann is complaining that he's not being brought up on charges. That really shows how mean-spirited and ugly the left can be. And Thom Hartmann is a very standard, almost predictable, old left type. The mind is he's brilliant, and he's like a mathematician in his statistic, but yet it's classic old leftism from harkening back maybe to the 1930s, the old days when you had the active Communist Party types, a real geek. And, but I do think that it does reflect the hatred and the viciousness and the mean-spiritedness of the left, that they would want to charge a man who's too emotional when he's publicly being accused of being a gang rapist, that he's not only going to have to endure that charge, but that he should be brought up on charges because he reacted wrongly. He was rude to someone. The other thing Thom Hartmann was of course bringing up the Russia collusion. Interestingly, when the fact is that he was broadcasting on RT, Russia television, which is owned by Putin, and he's in a position to talk about Russia collusion on the part of the president. But I just want to end it by pointing out that he was analyzing the issue of the president deciding to pull American troops out of Syria, which of course is something that you would think the left would celebrate, and certainly did celebrate when Barack Obama pulled American troops out of Iraq. But yet his analysis of it was classic leftism. He feels, Trump is doing this for money. He said he's doing it for cash because he wants to build a hotel somewhere. I think he either mentioned Istanbul or Moscow, and that he's doing it to curry favor with the Turks or with the Russians, and that's why he's doing it. I mean, this kind of absurd view of the material side of things, that everything has to be for money, is it's just, it goes to, again, a leftist mindset, which is why I sometimes like to tune into Thom's show, just to find out what the left is thinking. And you don't really even need to find out. It's very predictable. When I used to co-host a radio show with Patrick O'Heffernan, who was a classic leftist. He wasn't as far left as Thom Hartmann, but he was old left, like Thom Hartmann. I would prepare for the show, and we would, do a left-right discussion by listening to a couple of left-wing journalists. There used to be this guy in Boston on so-called progressive radio. His name slips my mind right now. He's gone. But, and then I would know what Patrick was going to say, and it's exactly what he would say. Almost not only to the word, but even the inflection and the tone and the way the words were pronounced was exactly what this guy would say in the morning here locally, and what leftists were saying all over the country. It was almost as if they were goose-stepping to a marching order. But I don't believe that they were. I don't believe in a conspiracy. They're not all, sitting around, taking marching orders. they don't have to. Instead, they just all think the same. It's almost like everything goes through this sieve. It's like a steel trap that encloses their brains. It's as if their ideology has them wrapped in this prison, really, and that there's just nothing new, and that they imitate like parrots. It's like they've got a computer chip in the back of their brains. Anyways, I just want to share those thoughts about Thom Hartmann. And he seems to blame Reagan for everything. Everything that's wrong with the world goes back to Ronald Reagan. I mean, I don't know. It's very weak. And when you pick a little bit underneath the brilliant statistician aspects of it, you find that there's just not a lot there. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Now, if I could figure out how to end the show, that would be brilliant. Here we go.